welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and do not adjust your sets. The puzzle on the screen is yesterday's fantastic puzzle Spectrum by MicroStudy. This is not what I'm going to be attempting in today's video, but Mark has asked me to open today's puzzle live on camera, which I'm always happy to do. This always comes with some trepidation. I literally do not believe it. Maverick has just taken off. That is 26 seconds. That's almost a record. So we're about to get buzzed by my right ear. There is going to be an aeroplane in about 15 seconds time. But anyway, I will use that time to paste this link into the URL bar, whatever it's called, and we shall see what Friendly Indexing Miracle by ThoughtByte. Let's have a look at the puzzle. Okay. That's why it's called a miracle. That's not a lot of information. Oh, indexing. Friendly indexing. Oh, this is going to be horrific. How long are the rules? Oh no, the rules aren't that long, actually. The rules are not that long. Often we do get sent from time to time grids that are basically empty, or indeed actually empty. But the rule sets that then accompany those puzzles tend to be very, very long and incredibly difficult to understand. This has been done actually in a relatively small amount of rules. I don't know whether we should start. Maybe we should start by reading the rules. But you can see, I'm guessing this is a diagonal on which digits can't repeat. We get one given digit, and apparently the puzzle is going to solve uniquely. Let's have a quick scan of the rules, just so that we can understand what on earth we're going to be doing today. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. A cell is friendly if it contains its row, column, or 3x3 box number. Boxes are numbered in normal reading order, i.e. top left, box 1. So this is box 1. Through to bottom right, box 9. So this is so this is box 1, this is box 2, box 3, box 4, box 5, box 6, etc. So cells are friendly. A cell is friendly if it contains its row. I see. So the 1 in row 1 is a friendly digit wherever it happens, which is not there. The 3 in row 3, the 5 in column 5. And then the 1 in box 1 is also friendly. The 6 in box 6 will be friendly because it's in the right box number. Now, what do we do with these friendly cells? All friendly cells are column and row indexers. And they must index at least one cell other than themselves. What does that mean? Column indexing. At least it tells us exactly what this means. So column indexing. Friendly digits in column X indicate the column in which the digit X appears in that row. These are the sorts of sentences that are designed basically to make you weep. Row indexing. Friendly digits in row X indicate the row in which the digit X appears in that column. Okay. Friendly indexer example. Thank goodness. If row 3 column 6 is a 2, then row 3 column 2 is a 6. That's a 6. And row 2 column 6 is a 3. Digits may not repeat along the indicated diagonal. That's what we thought. Now, why does this work? So the 2 is a friendly digit because it's in box 2. So that's a friendly digit. We should colour it in, shouldn't we, to say it's friendly. This is friendly. Column indexing. Friendly digits in column X. So this is column 6. Indicate the column in which the digit X appears in that row. Right, so this is in column 6, so the digit 6 in this row appears in column 2. Well, what's this one then? This is a row indexer. Friendly digits in row X. So this is in row 3. indicate the row, the row in which the digit X appears in that column. So this is row 3. So the 3 in this column appears in row 2. I mean, this is just bonkers. He sent this to me. He does this. He thinks it's hilarious when basically it'll be a puzzle he's looked at and thought is impossible to solve. But perhaps the comments on Logic Masters are just stellar or something. Oh man. This does not, I do not feel this plays to my strengths. But indexing puzzles, normally, we are told, are absolutely loved by computer programmers. Something about the way their brains work. And you notice I use they rather than our there. Their brains work, understands indexing very naturally. Me, not so much. Anyway, I have got some announcements to do, so I'm going to do those, and then I will have a crack at this puzzle. But luckily, I've started this at 10:45 in the morning, which is earlier than I normally record. So when I get stuck and I have to abandon this, I will have time to do another puzzle in a video, and hopefully we'll still be okay for a video at 8:30 this evening. Anyway, what else do I need to mention? I am going to mention, firstly, the new Sudoku hunt we've got over for our patrons over on Patreon. Kraken the Cryptic, there we go. Themed a bit on the new film Ruby Gillman, The Teenage Kraken, which neither Mark nor I have seen, but we sort of liked the logo. And there's a puzzle called Tentacles up there, and you can see the Teenage Kraken here has basically got tentacles. And actually, one thing we've been delighted about is that we've had several emails from patrons who haven't been able to complete a monthly reward before, but they have been able to do this one. So very well done to those of you for whom this is your first solve. And do check it out if you are a patron of the channel. This is a very nice way to spend a few minutes, trust me. Other than that, what else do I need to say? I've got some lovely announcements to do. So this is going to put me in a good mood before the torture starts. So I'm going to start with Andreas, who turns 23 today, over there in Denmark. And most importantly, Andreas agrees with me about the correct ratio of icing on your cake, which is, of course, 1:1. So, Andreas, I hope you get a cake with the correct amount of icing today. Next to Dan. Dan's turned the big 4-0 today. And I know this, Dan, because your fiancée Rachel wrote to us. And she did let on that you manage the entertainment on board Princess Cruise ships. And apparently they have a daily Sudoku challenge on their ships, which I fully approve of. And sometimes Cracking the Cryptic is even mentioned and recommended during such challenges. Well, Dan, for that we thank you greatly. And I hope you have a brilliant, brilliant 40th birthday today. Next, Devin. Devin's turned 34 today. And I know this because your boyfriend Tim wrote us the most lovely email, Devin, from Jefferson over there in, I always say Maryland. I know it's not Maryland. It's meant to be Maryland, isn't it? And Tim described himself as the luckiest man in the world to be your partner, Devin. And yeah, as I say, just that. Thank you, Tim, for telling us how much joy the channel's brought you, and for spreading, I suppose, the word of how much joy puzzles can bring people generally. And also thank you for the incredible suggestion that when the two of you get married, Mark and I are going to be invited to the wedding. I don't know if Mark's been to Maryland. I certainly haven't. I would love to go. So you may get a surprise guest. Next, Marco. Marco turns a secret age today. I better not let on what that number is. And I know this. Marco's over in Germany, and your partner Jana wrote to us and basically described you in the most fulsome terms, Marco. An amazing person, father and partner. And I know you've been going through tough times with a difficult pregnancy. I think, Jana, you're expecting a baby girl later this month, so you must send us a picture when she arrives. But Marco has been basically Superman for the last few months, managing managing the sort of household, your 2.5-year-old daughter Zoe, the 16-year-old dog Ferry, as well as holding down a full-time job. So Marco, well done. Well done for stepping up, and we wish you all the best with the coming delivery. And then finally, we have a wedding today. E.G. I don't know if that stands for evil genius, but it might. E.G. and I suppose your wife, Yuli. Now, hopefully by the time you get this, you will actually be married. I know it's your wedding today because your friend Asher wrote to us and said you'd appreciate a shout out. So we've got all sorts going on in the announcements today. Lovely stuff. But I suppose I can delay no longer. Let's have a look at Friendly Indexing Miracle by ThoughtByte. I like ThoughtByte's puzzles, although it's a bit mean that he set this one. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And this is I'm just going to sit here. I have got no clue how to even start this. I don't think I really understand the rules. What do we put in there? We put in a 2. And that seemed to lead to a 6. Or was it a 3 there? Because it's in, yes, because it's in row 3. So what basically are we saying? I'm just going to put the 2 back in there and just think about that. So we're saying where you have a friendly digit, yes, okay. So where you have a friendly digit, you immediately should hone in on the on whatever that digit's row is. So sort of this cell is pinpointing those 2 digits. Let's find another cell. Let's put a 6 in there. So that 6 is friendly because it's in the box, and immediately we should hone in on that cell and that cell, I think. So this is sort of pointing at those 2 cells, i.e. the 6th row and the 6th column of the friendly digit. And then this is telling us something, or it's telling us exactly what goes into these cells. So it's telling us that that would be a 7, would it? Is that how this works? That would be a 7 because this is in the 7th column. Or have I got that in the wrong order? Does the 7 go there? Oh golly! Now I've totally confused myself. I'm going to have to read the rules again. Column indexing. So friendly digits in column X. So column X is this is column 7. Friendly digits in column 7 indicate the column in which the digit X appears in that row. So the column is there. Okay, I can't remember if I got that wrong now. Okay, so basically this, if we're counting along here, we're putting it in one of those. And from this perspective, we're saying this is in the 5th row. Oh, now I've confused myself. Hang on. So it's in the 5th row, so I have to put a 5 there. Right. I mean, this is so counterintuitive to me. So, okay, that's in the 5th row. So it's all the position determines the digit that you put in the row or column corresponding to the friendly number. This is absolutely baffling. It's baffling. I mean, how on earth... I've got to somehow distill from this some sort of principle that allows me to solve the puzzle. I'm actually just going to do another one. I'm sorry about this, but I have to try and understand this. I'm going to put an 8 there. Now, this 8, let's see where I think it's pointing to. It's going to be pointing to the 8th. It's going to be I think it's pointing to those 2 positions. I think that's the 8th column and the 8th row. And then what we're saying is we put the digit 4 in there because this is in the 4th column, and we put the digit 7 in there because this 8 is in the 7th row. Okay, all right, I got that one more quickly. So my brain is ticking over. So, what does that mean? Where on earth do we use the 1? Is this given 1 in some way important? It's in this box there is a friendly 1 and it's not in those cells because this is box 1, so there must be a friendly digit. So yes, okay, so there's always a friendly digit in each box corresponding to its box number, but sometimes that friendly digit will overlap. So imagine there was a 1 here. Isn't that overlapping? Because it's a friendly digit by virtue of its box and by virtue of the fact it's in the first row. Yes, because the 1 in this row is always friendly, just as the 1 in this box is always friendly, just as the 1 in this column is always friendly. So let's do another example of those. So the 6 in this box is friendly. The 6 in this row is always friendly. And the 6 in this column. So, okay, so 6 doesn't overlap. So what I mean by that is the box number of 6, so there's a friendly 6 in this box. Oh no, it could overlap in the row. One of those would overlap in the row with the friendly 6 that must... So if there was a 6 in any of these, it would be friendly for 2 reasons. But the friendly column 6, which is in one of those cells, can't overlap with the friendly 6 in there, but could overlap with the friendly row here. And that would be on the diagonal in the 6th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Okay. So is that right? I don't think that can be a 6 in this puzzle, because isn't that indexing only itself? I thought there was something in the rules about friendly cells have to index things other than themselves. They must index at least one cell other than themselves. So if you were to put a 6 here, then using my coordinate system, we need to find the 6th. Yeah, it's pointing at itself. So it's saying put a 6 in this, by virtue of its position, it's saying put a 6 in this position from column and row indexing. So it's not indexing anything else. So it can't be a 6, right? I mean, I don't think this is a massive restriction, because, well, unless we're going to go Goodliff crazy, what we're saying is that 6 in this box is not there. 5 in this box is not here, because that would be indexing itself. 4 in this box is not here. I'm going to get rid of that one. That one's distracting me now. What does that mean? Right. Now this is weird, because I might be about to prove that 6 can't go anywhere on the diagonal. Well, okay, I'm going to claim, and this might not be true, that 6 can't go there or there. I've realised it can go here. So it can. I just don't think it can go in this box, because if this is 6, then using the coordinate system, we find the 6th column, we find the 6th row, and this digit, which is in the 4th fourth column and the fourth row would be saying put double 4 into both of those positions. And if you put 6 there, I don't know what I did there. I triggered something on the web browser. I'm glad it didn't kick off the web page. But if we put 6 there, let's make sure I type 6 in this time, isn't that saying you find the 6th position, you find the 6th position, and you put 5 into both of those positions, and there's going to be 2 5s in box 5. So you either end up with 2 4s in box 5 or 2 5s in box 5 if you put a 6 on the diagonal. Hang on, I got rid of far too many 6s there. So 6 actually is in one of these 6 positions in box 5. But that means 6 on the diagonal is in one of these positions. So there's always a sort of mirroring across the diagonal. Because wherever 6 goes, I mean, let's put 6 there just as the example. If you put 6 here, you find the 6th row or 6th column position, the 6th row position. And those would both be 3s. Because this 6 is in column and row 3. So you get a sort of mirroring across this diagonal. And presumably, let's try another one. If that was 6, you find the 6th position, you find the 6th position. This is in the 8th position, so we would get 8s in those 2 positions. So that's weird. That is weird. There is a mirroring around this diagonal depending upon what digit you put in. Even though, yeah, and that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the digit that you're putting on this diagonal isn't friendly. It just causes this effect. Oh, hang on. Have I got that wrong? I've got that wrong, haven't I? Because I've been assuming the 6 is friendly. How? No, no. No. So my trick worked here when I put 6. I can't remember where I put 6 in this box, but I put 6 there. Let's say it's there. I find the 6th position, the 6th position. And I can do that because this is friendly, so it's indexing these. Here, if I put 6 there, when it works for there, that can't be 6. That logic was good. But if this is 6, it's not friendly. So why do I have to index to those positions? Although, hang on. This is... Oh. No, okay. The logic works backwards, but it's still good. Funny bird noise outside. Yeah, even though this 6 isn't friendly. Yes. Okay. The point is that in this column there is a 4. And the 4 in this column is friendly. And the 4 in this column is always pointing at this digit, isn't it? Oh, that's so peculiar. That's really lovely. Yes, so the 4, if this was a 6, that would be a 4. Because the 4, wherever it goes, is the friendly digit, and it's always pointing at this cell in this column for its coordinate. But the 4 in this row is always pointing at this cell for its coordinate. So if this is a 6, that would have to appear in the 6th column. So you would get the effect I said. That's so weird. So that's so weird. So on the diagonal, I want to say on the diagonal, all digits are basically friendly in that you can index using them. Because if this 6 was actually a friendly 6, the effect of it would be to say, look at the 6th column, look at the 6th row, and put the column and row of this digit in. That's so weird. So this diagonal creates more friendly cells, or it converts things that might not look like they're initially friendly into being friendly. Anyway, alright, so that's well, it's good in the sense that I still don't think you can put 6 into any of these squares. But what it's bad about is it hasn't advanced our thinking. Well, we now know that there is definitely mirroring around this diagonal. And there's going to be some reason, isn't there, that these can't be these digits. I don't know what it is. Okay, I mean, the thing is, if I put 6 there, it's more likely to affect these two, because a 6 in those two is at least friendly. It's in the 6th column. The 6 here is unfriendly. Naughty 6. Be more sociable. Be less like Simon at parties. Because that 6 is in column 5 and row 4. It's just not friendly. So I don't think it's telling us anything, is it? Alright, I'm going to check the ones that could be friendly. If that's a 6, that is friendly. Woohoo! And if it's friendly, what is it saying? It's saying find the 6th position in the row, find the 6th position in the column. Oh, I see. So it's sort of indexing itself. Yeah, from a column perspective, it's in the 6th column. But from a row perspective, it's in the 4th row. So it's saying put a 4 there. But then I have to view this as friendly, don't I? Using the sort of logic that we just... But that's going to put a 6 here. Oh, this is absolutely mad. Well, I think that's right. I think that's right. Because once you, as we've just been working out, once you put a digit on the diagonal, which I think this causes... I have to view the 4 as friendly now. And one way to realise that is obviously I've got to put a 6 somewhere in this row. That 6 is itself friendly and is itself pointing at this square. So in order to put a 4 in this square, I have to put it in the 4th column. And that's going to be there. And that's going to cause a second 6 in the box. That's absolutely bizarre. That is absolutely bizarre. So that's not a 6. Now I'm guessing that means that's not a 6. Because if that's a 6, it must be symmetrical, isn't it? Ah, no. Oh, yeah. Well, I was about to say no, because it's not in the it's not indexed by the column, but it is indexed by the row now. So this square is indexed by the row. So it is friendly. And don't tell me it's going to require... So we find... This is friendly, so we find the 6th position here. So it's indexing itself from a row, but from a column perspective, it requires another 4 there. And that puts a 6 there, because we've just thought about that. So it still doesn't work. Right, that doesn't work. So I'm going to try these two next, because... No, I'm not. Oh, that's so weird. I can't even understand. I was going to try this one, and then I thought the symmetrical counterpart was that. It's not, is it? These two are symmetrical in the sense that both of these are friendly. That one's in the 6th column, that's in the 6th row. Right, I'm going to try this one. So if that's a 6, that's pointing here. So for column indexing, it's pointing at itself. Is that right, actually? Well, from a row perspective, it's in the 5th row, so it's telling me put a 5 here, and don't tell me, does that require me to put a 6 here? There's a 6 in this row that must be in the 5th, yeah, must be in the 5th column, so that is putting 2 6s here, and it doesn't work. And that means that it's going to work exactly the same way for this square. If that's a 6, that is friendly in its row. So it's saying it's in column 5, so put a 5 here. And a 5 here says the 6 in here must be there. And that's 2 6s, yeah, okay. So I'm just, the only thing I haven't checked, well, no, I mean the logic for this must be the same as this. This is not a friendly 6. So the weird thing here is that 6 in this box is very restricted because it fails when it's friendly by virtue of its column. It fails when it's friendly by virtue of its row. And it can't appear on the diagonal because it's indexing itself here. And in the other two positions, it requires mirroring into its own box of some digit. Oh, this is mad. Okay, but we have a potentially interesting pencil mark, and I think possibly a way of progressing, haven't we? So look, why don't we try and, well, are we going to find that 4s are there? Is that possible? Right, 4 can't be there because it would index itself twice. A 4 here says, well, it's indexing to those two positions, and it's indexing the 5th column and the 5th row, so we'd have 2 5s in those positions, and that can't work, so it's not there. And if it's here, it's indexing the 6th row and the 6th column into the 4th positions, and that's going to cause 2 6s there, which doesn't work. So okay, so 4 works the same way. It can't appear on the diagonal, but 4 is different in these two positions because it's friendly in both of those. So 4's options now are these cells, but these are all friendly. So I think the 4's are going to end up there, but I'm not certain. I'm going to check. So if that's 4, it's friendly. It's friendly by virtue of its row. Well, and it doesn't matter. It must cause as much indexing as it can deliver, mustn't it? It's friendly by virtue. So I have to index. I find the 4th position here. I find the 4th position in the column, which is itself. So it's indexing to itself in one instance, and it's putting a 5 there. But that's going to cause mirroring, because now the 4 in this column, which is pointing at this cell by indexing, has to appear in the 5th position, which is there. So I do get the problem. So it is the same. It's the same. We can't put 4 into either of those squares. And I'm just going to do one of the. I'll do this one. Let's do that one. So if we do this one, I think it will also get rid of this one by symmetry. So if that's 4, find the 4th position. It's indexing itself, it's in the 4th column already, but from a row perspective, it's saying we need to put a 6 in here, which is saying, because the 4 in this row now must be in the 6th position. Yeah, we get the 4 there, don't we? Wow, wow, okay. So now I'm going to look at 5. 5 I think is going to be different though, because it just feels a very symmetrical digit. So maybe 5 has to go in the middle. No, 5 in the... No. Oh, no. Oh, definitely no, actually. I've suddenly thought of something. 5 in the middle is like the perfect indexer, because it's 5 in the middle is friendly in multiple ways. It's an extremely friendly digit, because it's friendly by virtue of its box, its row, and its column, which not many... 1 could be. Yeah, okay. 1 could be friendly in that way, 5 can be friendly in that way, 9 can be friendly in that way. No other digits have the opportunity to be so friendly. So 1s, 5s and 9s are extremely sociable digits. Now, what does this mean, you may well ask? Well, it means 5 doesn't go in the middle of the grid, because it would index to itself too many times, 3 times. So can we put 5 here? If we put 5 there, I'm guessing not, but I'm still have to do the logic. No, it's indexing the same number into both of these positions, and that number would be a 4. So if we put a 5 there, presumably we're indexing 6 into both of those positions, which is again not going to work. Right. So 5 isn't on the diagonal. So I'm now going to guess 5 is in those positions, but that could be nonsense. Simply because 5 in these positions is friendly. So why can't you put 5 there? And it's friendly because it's in the 5th column. I have to do this so, I have to do this so slowly each time. So it's saying from a column perspective, put a 4 there, isn't it? Because it's in the 4th row. So if I put a 4 there, that's going to cause the 5 in this row to have to appear in the 4th column, which is there. So again, it doesn't work. You get the same pattern emerging over and over again by virtue of the central digits sort of acquiring friendliness. So let's check that one then. That will deal with, I think, all 4 of these if we can disprove this. If this is 5, it's friendly by virtue of it's in the 5th row. So from a column perspective, it's in the 6th column. So we need to put a 6 in the centre of the grid. Now, if we put a 6 in the centre of the grid, the 5 in this column needs to point at this. So it must be in the 6th row. And that's going to put 2 5s in again. So it doesn't work. So all these come out. Oh, well, all of these can't be 5s, which puts the 5s into these positions. But again, we don't know which one. So now 4, 5 and 6 on this diagonal are in some congregation of these cells where, oh, hang on. Right, I was about to say where they're not friendly. And although that's true that they're not friendly, they become friendly by virtue of the sort of theorem we've developed, which says that all digits on the diagonal act as if they're friendly, even if they don't look it. So I'm just going to put a 6 in here, just to have a think about what that might mean. So a 6 in here, you can see there's going to be a 3 in this column. It's going to have to be there because it's got to be in the 6th position now in order for it to work. So it's going to get 2 3. If this is a 6, you get 2 3s here. But that's... If this is a 6... and you get 2s here. And if this is a 6, you get 1s here. Maybe it is the given 1 for some reason. How does the logic that gives us 4, 5 and 6 in this box transpose across to this box? I'm wondering if it's entropic, in the sense that if 4, 5 and 6 are restricted in this box, are we able to say that 1, 2 and 3 are restricted in similar ways in this box? And the answer is... like, are you going to get 1, 2, 3 triple here with the 1? You see, if that was true, if the low digit always ends up in those two positions, this given digit would give us a 1 here. We get 1, 2, 3 rather than 1, 2, 3. Well, I think there's nothing else for it. I'm going to think about where 1 goes in this box now. Okay, 1 can't go there because that's triply friendly. 1 can't go here by Sudoku. If we put 1 there, what are we saying? We're saying that you've got to put... this is in the 3rd column and the 3rd row. So I have to put 3 into those two positions. And that doesn't work. So again, 1 is locked off the diagonal. 1's also locked off. So 1 cannot appear in this Z pentomino. So 1 is in one of 4 places by a mixture of Sudoku and ThoughtByte indexing nonsense. Now, where do I think it's going to be? Well, if based off this one, I think it's going to be there. So why isn't it there? Let's have a look. If that's a 1, it's friendly. It's 2 ways friendly because it's in the first column, first row, sorry, and the first box. So it's got to index something else, which is it's going to be it's in the third. If this is a 1. See, this is where I get confused now. I know I shouldn't get confused by this, but the fact it's so close to the top of the grid is doing my head in. So from a column perspective, it's in the first row. So I think it's indexing it to itself in terms of which row it's in. So I think what it's saying is that we have to put a 3, this is in the third column, in position 1. Now, an undeserved 3 in the corner. No song for you. Yeah, okay. So it's saying put a 3 here, but that 3 acts like it's friendly. We've looked at this already. So the 1 in this column now is going to have to go there. And that's going to put 2 1s in this box. So I suspected this didn't work, but it really doesn't. Now, does this cause exactly the same? That must cause the same thing to happen. Because now I have to put a 3 here. Again, it's going to do the thing again, which still requires this to work. So this is wrong. Now, the weird thing is, though, why doesn't this work then? I mean, it didn't seem to work with 4 being here, but I don't know why 1 doesn't work there. If that's 1, we're saying that you have to put hey, you've got to put a 2 in the corner, don't you? This 1 is in the second row, so I've got to put a 2 here, and that 2 must be indexed by the 1 in the row, which is going to be there. So the thing I'm a bit worried about now is, why does this one work? Because that still is friendly. 4 was never friendly in this position, whereas 1 is friendly in this position because it's in box number 1. So what is this saying? I mean, this actually, I think we've proved that this is the 1 in this box, and if that is true, it is indexing really real things. We're going to put digits in the puzzle. Now, why doesn't this break is the key question. So this is in the third column, so it's saying put a 3 here. It's in the second row, so it's saying put a 2 here. Nothing went on the maybe it's because nothing went on the diagonal there that nothing breaks. Are any of the 2 or the 3? No, the 2 and the 3 are not friendly. I don't think. This is in column 3, row 1, box 1. Row 2, column 1, box 1. They are not friendly. So we get some friendly-ish. Well, we get some digits that are not friendly. Oh no! I was about to say this is 7, 8, 9 triple down along the diagonal. That is not how Sudoku works. Just because this is a 4, 5, 6 does not mean it's a 4, 5, 6 off the diagonal in box 1. It means the very opposite of that. 1 must be down there. Does that mean something? Because that's going to be a friendly 1 by virtue of its column. Yes. So that digit in the corner has to be indexed by one of these numbers, which is a 4, 5 or 6, depending on which row it ends up in. So that is 4, 5 or 6 in the corner. Now that we know operates like a friendly digit, because the 1 in this row has to be now indexing this as well, because there's a sort of mirror around the diagonal. So that means one of those is a 1, which means one of these is a 1. Now the one here is not friendly. No, it's not friendly. The one here is friendly, but that's why it's indexing here. Now, but if this was a 1, oh no, it's indexing itself. So I was wondering if I was going to be able to transpose something down to column, to these sorts of positions, but that's not how the indexing works from here. Right. Okay. Now, what on earth do we look at now? I mean, I'm quite proud to have got this far, I have to say. I mean, I didn't understand the rules at all when we first read them. Is it true to say... Oh, no, hang on. This is weird. I thought I was going to end up with this pattern, like 1, 2, 3 here, like this is 4, 5, 6. Oh, maybe I haven't understood. Maybe I'm viewing those as a triple where they're not a triple. Maybe this one, that one, and that one are what pops out. To me, it just looks like I've either got 4, 5, 6 here or 4, 5, 6 there. That might be wrong. Let's make that a 5 and just understand where the 4 and the 6 then go. This is friendly. So that's saying find the 5th row. Find the 5th column. No, okay, no, I was right. So these do operate like a triple. So if that's a 5, this is a 4 and a 6. So these 3, we have to view them together. It's either those 3 or it's these 3. But it doesn't work the same up here. So you put the 1 here, and you don't get a 3 here. The 3 pops across the diagonal for some reason. So goodness only knows how it works down here with 7, 8, and 9. I don't know. 7 can't go there, it would index itself. If 7 goes there, it's putting the same digit 8 in both of those squares. If 7 goes there, it's putting the same digit 9 in both of those squares. So again, 7 doesn't go on the diagonal. Unsurprisingly, 7 picks up all of these positions. Now, if this pattern is mirrored, we expect the 7 to end up here. So let's try and disprove this 7. If that's 7, that's saying put 8 here. If you put 8 there, then in this column, the 7 has to go there. That doesn't work. So that's going to take care of this one and its symmetrical counterpart, which would require 8 here as well. Right, so these two come out. Let's see if this one comes out. If that's 7, that is saying put 9 here, and 9 there requires putting 7 there, so that doesn't work, and that must be symmetrical. So again, so it does work the same way here. 8 here requires double 7, that doesn't work. 8 here is too friendly for its own good. 8 there requires double 9 there, that doesn't work. So again, 8 is the same. So where do we expect 8 to go? We expect 8 to go in the corners, so why doesn't 8 go there? If 8 goes here, find the 8, so that's putting a 7 into this square, which is putting an 8 into this square. So yeah, that doesn't work, so we take both of those out. We think 8 will go here. Why doesn't 8 go there then? So if that's 8, that's saying some point I will get this so that I can do this quickly, but I'm still not there yet. That's saying put 9 here. which is saying put 8 there. Yeah, it doesn't work. It definitely doesn't work. So these two lose their ability to be 8. So we are getting the same pattern here. Although 9, actually, I suddenly think 9 could go in one of these to be symmetrical with the 4, 5, 6. Or what if it flips across the diagonal? If that's 7, yeah, hang on. If that's 7, that is saying that 9 in this box has to go here. So if that's 7, that's saying 9 in the box goes there. So you do get a 7, 8, 9 triple, but it doesn't work the same way as this. The 4, 5 and 6 are all going to be on one side of the diagonal. Here they're not, because if that's 7, the 9 goes there. And if that's 7, the 9 goes here. And what about the 8 then? Do we know anything about which way round the 8 goes? Eight. Oh, hang on. Have I been assuming everything's friendly again down here when I'm not allowed to? The 9, no. I have a horrible feeling I have. It's so easy to forget this. I'm not sure. I'm now not at all sure that I didn't make the assumption that some of these digits were friendly when they might not have been down here. I've just wasted everyone's time. I don't trust it. I don't trust my thinking. I think the thinking on the diagonal is fine. That's always going to work. 7 would there. So 7 is in one of those. 7 would be friendly in these positions. Yeah, I think that was legitimate. Then when we looked at 8... yeah, I think that was legitimate, but I think when I was thinking about 9, I think I lost the plot. Because I think I remember saying if that's 7, that's plonking the 9 here, but that's not true at all. That's only plonking the 9 here if this 7 is friendly, which it isn't. Yeah, okay, alright. So I think what we have to do is revisit thinking around the 9. The 9 can't go on the diagonal, can it? If that's 9, we have to put double 8 into these positions. If that's 9, we've got to put double 7 into these positions. So 9 is not on the diagonal. 9 is friendly everywhere. So we're going to put 9 in everywhere and think about it. With the expectation, or do I have an expectation of where 9 is going to end up? I'm not sure. Well, this would suggest it's going to be in those two. Let's try the corner. So if 9 is here, it's friendly. It's in the 7th position. So that's saying put 7 here, isn't it? But that's going to put 9 here, so that doesn't work. And that must be symmetrical. So if I put 9 here, that's saying put 8 into the corner, which is saying put 9 here, which also doesn't work. So those two do come out. But can we relate these in the way that I was able to relate these? So if that is 9, what is that saying? That is friendly. It's in the 7th position. So the 7 does go across the diagonal. The 7 goes across the diagonal. But this 7 is unfriendly. So do we know anything at all about which side the 8 goes? I don't think we do. I might be wrong, but I don't trust any logic that I would get from that. It doesn't feel right to be able to know that, because neither of these are friendly. So I'm not even sure this. Well, no, I was just having another thought. That doesn't work. I've got to be so diligent about this. When I'm doing this logic, I must keep checking whether I'm thinking about friendly digits or not. Now, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I'm meant to think about there must be a friendly 2 in there, a friendly 4 in here. Friendly 4 in here, wherever it goes. That's weird. A friendly 4 in here is always putting a 1, 2 or a 3 into one of those squares, but you don't know which one because it depends where the 4 is. Because if the 4 is in column 1, any of those squares, then it's putting a 1 in one of those positions. If it's in one of those, it's putting a 2 in one of these, and if it's in one of those, it's putting a 3 in one of these. Maybe I've got to... Is there some way these given digits... Maybe if I think about where 2 goes in here. 2 is friendly in here. Alright, I'm going to think about that. I'm sorry, I'm doing this in an incredibly strange way, I've no doubt, but I'm finding this very hard to understand. Yes, and I am going to be making a short, sharp, swift phone call to Mark at the end of this video, whatever happens. If this is... Right, so 2 is in one of those. 2 is friendly in all of those. So if the 2 is in one of those squares, it's pointing into that position, isn't it? And it's putting a 4, 5 or a 6 in one of those, which is putting a 2 in one of these. Okay. I mean, that would be useful. I can see that. But these are, from a column perspective, they're already in the right position. So I don't think they're yielding any more information. Aha! Oh, good grief. Right, sorry. You can't put 2 in those. Because from a column perspective, these are, well, they're they're in the 3rd row. These 2s are in the 3rd row. So they'd be saying whichever one of these was a 2 would have to have a 3 above it. Because in the 2nd row, I'd have to put the digit corresponding to the row number or the row position of these 2s. And there's already a 3 in this row. Those cannot be 2s. So the 2 is here, which means the 2 is here, where it's not friendly. But this is a friendly 2, so this square is a 4, 5 or a 6. Because if this is a 2, that's got to be a 4, because that 2 is in column 4. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Right, I'm now going to think about... Well, am I going to think... This is a question. Here is a conundrum. I was going to think about 3. That felt the natural place to go. But do I look at 3 in this box, or do I look at 3 where it's going to be friendly in that box? I think I've got to look at it where it's going to be friendly, don't I? I mean, this is so strange and so unnatural. If there's a 3 down here, I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple. There would be a 3 up here, which wouldn't... No, it wouldn't be friendly. It couldn't be friendly. But if there's a 3 here, it is friendly. No. Right, this is actually right. This is what I should have done from the start. All of this nonsense down here is totally irrelevant. All I had to do was concentrate on this box and what it caused. Because look, this 3. I mean, I have no idea how I'm meant to see this. I've no idea. The geniuses out there who can just see at the start. Oh, you start with box 1 and then you just extrapolate it. I do not know how you can visualize that, but I have now appreciated something, which is the 3 in this box. If it was here, if it's in any of those positions, it's in column 7, column 8, or column 9. So in the 3rd column of this row, that cell, I'd have to write 7, 8, or 9. That's a 2. That's not the same number, so I can't do that. Which means this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. The 3 down here is definitely friendly. So it is putting a 7, 8, or a 9 in that position. It's also indexing itself from a column. So I don't know, I'm probably mixing up my column and row indexes, but I see it's in the 3rd position going in this direction, so it's indexing itself, so I can't do anything with that. I get a 7, 8, or a 9 on the diagonal, which means that the other 2, so the 7, 8, there must be 2 of 7, 8, and 9 in those 3 cells, mustn't there? Because I need to put 7, 8, and 9 on this diagonal. I've only managed to put 1 on here, and I can't put any on there, so 2 must go on here, where they will be treated as friendly for the purposes of the sort of the clever trick we discovered. I mean, the problem is now I haven't got a clue what to do. I've literally got no idea. Okay, I'm going to do as much pencil marking as I possibly can. That must be sensible. If this is 7, 8, or 9, this is going to cause... Yes, this being 4, 5, or 6 requires there to be a 2 in one of those squares. There we go. 2 in one of these squares. This being 7, 8, or 9 requires us to put a 3 in one of these and a 3 in one of these, which means there's a 3 in one of these where it is unfriendly in all positions. Yeah, but this is the sort of thing we're going to have to think about, isn't it? We're going to have to do very careful due diligence on what everything means. Okay. I mean, what on earth am I meant to do from here? You put 1 here. If that's a 1, it's saying put 4 into those positions. If that's a 1, you're saying put 5 into those positions. If that's a 1, we put 6 into those positions. I'm sorry, I have no idea where I'm meant to look now. I think I'm going to... Whatever digit you put on the diagonal is going to cause mirroring. Right. Okay. So that square can't be a 3. None of these squares can be a 3. I think. I might be wrong about this. But because I think if you put 3 in any of those positions, am I not saying... So if I put 3 here, I think what I'm saying is that the 7 has to go into those two positions by the mirroring principle. And obviously this can't be 7. Same with the 3 here would cause this to be an 8, and the 3 here would cause this to be a 9. So I think 3 is in one of those positions, which is a fascinating thought. Now that means... that means we've either got double 4 here, double 5, hang on, yeah, double 5 there, or double 6 here. I think that's fine, isn't it? Sorry. Oh, right. I've got some... Oh, my goodness me. Oh, hang on. I might have got something really big here. Wow. Okay. I have got something quite... I've got something at least quite interesting. This given 1 has an absolutely remarkable effect on that square. And that is because it's for 2 reasons, one of which is slightly fatuous. The first reason is it stops that cell being a 1. But the second reason is it stops that cell being a 2. And that's much more interesting, because it can't be a 2, because that would be saying put an 8 there and an 8 there, and you can't put an 8 on top of a 1 unless you're crazy. But having just worked out this can't be a 3, this now is a 4, 5 or a 6 by Sudoku, and look what that does on the diagonal. That gives me a 4, 5, 6 triple, but now those 2 squares have to be a 1, 2 pair. Because by Sudoku, they can't be 4, 5, 6 on the diagonal, they can't be 7, 8, 9 by nonsenses, and there's a 3 in one of those, so that is a 1, 2 pair. And now, that actually feels, that's the first point at which I feel I've sort of made a deduction that's intended. Now, what is that saying? So that is saying that the 7 is in position 1 or 2 up here. So there is a 7 in one of those positions. There is a 7 in one of these positions. There is a 9 in one of these positions. There is a 9 in one of these positions. This is just by mirroring. There is an 8 in one of those. There is an 8 in one of these. There is an 8 in one of these. So there's a 4, 5, 6 triple in this column now. Because these 2 squares can't be 1, 2, 3 or 7, 8, 9. So these are from 4, 5 or 6, and that makes a triple. Wow. Wow. Okay, now here's a thought. Here is a thought. When we were thinking about 7s and 9s in this box, didn't I conclude that the 9 and the 7 were opposite each other across the diagonal? If that's a 9, we are saying it's friendly. I've made that check. It's definitely friendly. And so from a column perspective, I have to put a 7, which is in the 7th row, in here. So yes, so the 7 and the 9 cross the diagonal. Well, let me ask you then, how could that be a 9-7 pair? Because if that is a 9-7 pair in this box, these squares have got to be a 7-8-9 triple. But that means these squares have to be 1s, 2s and 3s, and there's too many cells in the box that have to be from 1, 2 and 3. There'd be 4 of them. Let me do that slowly in case that's not clear. If you go 9 and 7 here, 9 and 7 in this column have to be here. So now I've got a 4, 5, 6 triple and a 7, 8, 9 triple. So these two squares are from 1, 2 and 3. And there's definitely going to be a repeated digit in box 9. So I think what we can say is that this is not 9 and 7. So this is 9 and 7. I get more digits. 9 and 7 go into the grid. Oh, I see. No, and I do get the 8. I hadn't appreciated this before. I was wondering about how we were going to determine the 8s, but now I suddenly realised because this 9 is friendly by its nature, from a row perspective, it's telling us to put an 8 here. So actually I get the 8 as well. Now I get a 7-8 pair in box 1 by the power of Doku. So these squares are from 4, 5, 6 and 9. I have no qualms about such extensive pencil marking. 8. 8 is in one of those 3 squares. Actually 7 is interesting. I hadn't twigged the fact that I got this 7 pencil mark here, so there's a 7 in one of these. And there's so this is 7, 8, 9. This is almost becoming doable. No, I mean that's such a ludicrous thing to say, but I just mean I'm actually getting somewhere a little bit, because 9 is in one of those two. Because of this 1, 2. That is legitimate. So this is a 7, 8, 9 triple. Ah. Sorry, I know I'm not saying anything else because I don't know what to do. Oh, yeah, no, I do. Where's 2 in this row? Well, I think it's got to be here by Sudoku. Now, what is that doing? How would I manage to pencil mark 2 down here? Is it because... Oh, it's because of... Right, because you have to backtrack your logic so carefully. It's because I got a 2 for here from the 4, 5, 6. That was causing a 2 in one of these. So the fact I get a 2 here doesn't do very much, actually. Because it's not friendly. Disappointing. I mean, that's one of the most disappointing digits you'll ever get in a Sudoku, actually. Okay, maybe the diagonal is the place we need to look. We've got 3s in one of these, and the other digits are, I see, the 3s, 7s, 8s and 9s. Now these are all going to cause mirroring where... But the thing is, yeah, okay. I mean, this is going to cause mirrored 4s. But the mirrored 4s can be in an absolute plethora of positions. Oh, this can't be 8, can it? If that's 8, it's saying that's a 4. That's not going to work. That can't be 8. If this is 8, that's saying that's... Yeah, this is saying that that's a 5. And if this is 8, that's saying that's something, a 6, which it's not. So that's a 3, 7, 9 triple, and that square is an 8. Now if that's an 8, that's in the 3rd position. So we go to column 8 and row 8, and we write 3 in. Now I get a 1, 2 pair in this column and this column. That's a 3. Now I've got a 4, 5, 6 triple here. I've got a 3 here. Which means I've got a 3 over there and a 3 over there, and I'm not proud about doing very extensive pencil marking. Okay, let's come back to this diagonal. If that is a 3, we're saying we put 4 into those 2 positions. Now, why doesn't that work? Don't know. If what? All right. What if it's a 7? Then we're saying you put 4 into those two positions. That looks fine as well, doesn't it? Oh, Bobbin's face. I don't know. 9 again. I think 9 looks like it's pincering nicely. Not sure. How long have I had? An hour and 15. Gosh, it's quite a long video. It might be a very, very long video, but I'm 30% sure that if I sit here long enough, I might solve it now, and that would feel like that would feel like a miracle, a friendly indexing miracle. I'm just going to take the 3 corner mark out of those. Okay, so what would be a logical thing to think about now? I still believe it's in some way related to this diagonal. But I just don't think we know enough about what's getting indexed, if you see what I mean. Oh, no. Oh, I almost had a good thought then. Oh, that's not 8. Ah! Easy. There's an 8-9 pair in the bottom row. So, there's not some weird symmetry that does that somewhere else, is there? The 9 there is friendly as well. Oh, I see. Yeah, but it's already sort of catered for, if you like, by this. Yeah, that's what the pencil mark is, and otherwise, other than that, it's in the 9th row already, so it's indexing itself down here. What about the 7 here? The 7 is an indexer in 2 ways. In one way, it's indexing itself. In the other, it's flagging this one. So it's the corollary of this. So I've already sort of done it. What about up here? I've got to have... Yes, okay, up here, where are 7 and 9? And the answer is in those 3 squares. So that means they're overlapping, if you like, with the 9s and 7s here. And we can say that the 7 and the 9 in this column are in those positions. Which means these squares are from 4, 5 and 6 by Sudoku. Again, it's really interesting, but it's not. So these are from 4, 5, 6 and 7. No, these aren't friendly is the problem I think we're having. We're sort of we're skirting around the edges of the issue here without sort of understanding it quite. If there's a 4 in one of those, it's friendly. If that's a 4, if that's a 4, that's in yeah, that works. If that's a 4, that's a 3, and that's a 4. So you get 4s in those positions. Oh, nearly. I don't think that can be a 4. If that's a 4, no, that's actually very interesting. If that's a 4, that breaks this box. Because by Sudoku, this is a 4, but we know that the 6, 5 and 4 live on the same side in box 5. So if this was a 4, we know this was a 5 and this was a 6. If this is a 4, we know this is a 5 and this is a 6. So if this is a 4, this is a 4, 5, 6 triple. But this 4 is friendly, so it is saying write a 3 into this square. It's in the third column. So in the fourth column, we have to write the 3 here. But that's a 6 now, so that doesn't work. And it doesn't work here either. Because if that's a 4... Oh, actually, maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm not sure about that. I thought it was going to work the same way. That's definitely not a 4. So the 4 is now in one of... it's nothing, is it? It's nothing. No. The thing to realise is if that's a 4, it doesn't work, and neither does it work in either of those two squares for exactly the same reason. Because you'd be plonking a 1, 2, or a 3 in this square when this square needs to be a 6. So 4 in this box is restricted. Now, oh, hang on. 3 is on the diagonal. I'm going to reinstate my 3 on the diagonal, because that can be a 4, but that can't be a 4, because if that was a 4, it's saying put 3 here, and 3 is on the diagonal. Right, I've got rid of another 4. Oh, this isn't a 7-9 pair now, is it? No. It could be 5s or 6s. Right. So 4 is in one of these positions. I'm just going to highlight it for the sake of just trying to spare my eyes. Now 4 is up here. That is saying, well, oh, yes. Okay, 4 we can take out of this square and this square. Because if 4 is in this square, that's saying write 1 into this square. It's in the first column, and that cannot be a 1. So that's not 4, and it's not purple. If this was a 4, it's saying write 2 in there. That doesn't work. So again, we are... oh, hang on. I think I just took 2 out of that square. Let me just go back. I did. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to take 4 out of this square. So 4 is now down to just 3 positions. Now, if this is 4, I'm fairly sure that's okay, because that would be 3 and that would be 4. And we get the 4 mirroring across the diagonal in positions where it looks like it might be okay. If that's 4, then we're saying this is a 1. So we're saying this is 4, 5, 6. Oh, no. Right, this doesn't work. Aha! I've got another digit. Right. If either of these is 4, forget about what it does in this box for a moment, and think about what it does in this box in terms of column indexing. If this was a 4... or I don't know whether it's column or row, but I do know that once this is a 4, we say to ourselves, find the 4th position here in the column, that's there, and find the 4th position in the row, which is there. So this 4 is looking at those 2 cells, and it's telling us something about them. But it's telling us this one should be a 6, because this 4 is in the 6th row. And if that's a 6... the problem is that's a 6 as well, because if that's a 4, that's not a 4. So we get the 4, 5, 6 here. We get 2 6s in the row. If that's a 4, you get a 6 here, but you still get the 4, 5, 6 in the row. So these cannot be purple. Therefore, they are not 4. This is 4. And now this is 3. And now this is 4. Because this is friendly. It's in the 3rd column, so that's fine. This is not 3. This is not 3. So this is 7 and 9. These are, look, these are not 4. So we get a 4-7 pair in the row, 5-6 pair in the column, a 7-9 pair, which I thought I got earlier, but I don't think I did have it legitimately. So so 7 and 9, and oh yeah, look at this, beautiful. Where does 7 and 9 go in row 4? They've only got 2 positions, which are those, which knocks 3 out of this square. So 3 is down here. Oh, I've just realised I could have got that just using this given 3. It's one of these ones that's just a natural corollary of what we've found already, but it's just impossible to see it. Now, we've got 7s and 9s on this diagonal now, so we can say things about the world, because this is indexing 5 into one of those 2 positions and one of these 2 positions. Ah, no, okay, that doesn't... I don't know if that does anything. I fear it might not. This one's indexing 6 into these. 6 into these. Where it would be friendly over here. Well, yeah, the 5's friendly. This is just a consequence. This is just normal. It's what's caused by the nonsense, isn't it? So okay, so if we look at this column now, I've not put in 1, 2, and this is a 1, 2, 8 triple. That's interesting. The 8 of which is friendly. Nine here would be friendly. Hang on. 9 here would be friendly. If 9 is there, why can't I understand now what this 9 is telling me? This 9 would be saying, in this position, no, this, yeah, okay, I've been looking at this thinking this doesn't work, so it's making me want to put a 4 down in the corner. Okay, but look, the way to see this is that the 1 or the 2 is plonking a 9 up here. So this has to be 7, this has to be 9. And unfortunately, that swings these round the wrong way. We could have got that from the 7-8 pair as well. It's weird. It's weird how my intuition was that this was wrong. But then I couldn't, I couldn't instantly see it. It's not like a normal Sudoku digit. Not that I see those instantly, but you know what I mean. 5, 6, 7, 9. So these are 5, 6, 7s and 9s. I think I must pencil mark it. These are 3, 4, 5 and 6 with the 3 over this side. So these are from 4, 5 and 6. This is a 1, 2 pair. Could we... I don't know. Do we know anything about the world now? What's that digit? That digit is not 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. So it's 1 or 3 perhaps. No, or 3 or 4. Is that a 1 or a 2? I think by Sudoku that is a 1 or a 2, which gives me a 1, 2 pair in the row, which means these squares are from 4, 5 and 6. We know that's not 5 and that's not 6. And this is a 1 or a 2. Where's its equivalent in this column? This isn't 3 anymore, actually. Oh, so can I repeat that logic on this square? This square is not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. I absolutely can. So this is now 1, 2 pair, which means something at the top of the grid. This square is not 1. Ah, I see. This square is not 1 or 3 now, which seems to give me a 1, 3 pair out of absolutely nowhere in box number 2. These squares here are from 3, 5 and 6, with that not able to be 5 and that not able to be 6. We have got 7, we know we've got 7, 9 pairs. They are not interesting, Simon. What about... No, I need to limit the positions of 1s or something. Oh, I've done that a bit actually. Not down here, but there. Now that this can't be a 1, that can't be a 4. And that means this can't be a 1. It's a tiny deduction. But I'm certainly... Well, I'm going to do the same there. Oh, this is going to be... Yes, yes. Okay, this is good. So this 1, 2 pair causes this not to be able to be a 2. So this can't be a 4. And that means this now is a 5, 6 pair. This can't be a 2. This has become a 2, 3 pair. It's weird. It's a weird puzzle, this. We're starting to get all of these weird, these pairs out of absolute nowhere. But this is very cool because that's going to give me a 4 here. And if that's a 4, that's keying an 8 into the 4th positions, isn't it? So that's now an 8. That's now an 8. So exciting. And it's not going to do anything, is it? Well, it does a bit. It does a bit. Because now 8 in this box, I am going to claim, is on top of the 2. Doesn't seem to... Yeah, it seems okay, doesn't it? I don't really understand why, but that seems to be true. So that gives me a 7 and an 8. Unwinding these squares. This 7... It's nearly really cool. Nearly very good. These squares are 5, 6, 7 or 9. But we don't seem to have, even though we're doing just incredible work on some parts. Well, if this actually, hang on, if that's a 5, 6 pair, that's a 7, 9 pair. So this becomes a 5, 6 pair. So this becomes a 7, 9 pair, which means this, aha, this could be good. This could be good, because now in this column, this is a 5, 6 pair, and we know the order, because we know where the 6s and 5s go. And if that's 6 and that's 5, that's 4, by the logic we did earlier, which said all of those digits have to be on the same side. So these squares are now 1, 2, and 8, which means this is 8 by Sudoku. That's 8, that's 1, that's 1, that's 2, that's 2, that's 3. Come on, please, please, please. 3, 6 go into the grid using ludicrous Sudoku magic. This is a 1, 2 pair. This is a 5, 6 pair. That is going to be interesting. Maybe. That is a 4 by Sudoku, which means these are not 4. I seem to have a 5, 6 pair, which puts 9 in the corner, and I'm very pleased about that because I can immediately zap down the grid to here and write 1 in. That gives me 9, that gives me 8. 4 gives me 4 and 7, which gives me 7 and 9. I get a 5, 6 pattern here. Oh, this is really genuinely exciting, and don't tease me about that. This is a 4. I'm worried that, 7 and 9. I'm worried I'm going to get some weird, deadly pattern. 1 here means this is 2. Now that's on the diagonal, so that's saying put 7 into the 2. Oh, it's saying put... I've done it already. Okay, somehow the Sudoku knew. This is 2, this is 1. This is 4, so this is 4, this is 5, this is 5, this is 6. This is 1, this is 2. 5, 6 pairs, 7, 9 pairs. 8, no, 8, the 8 can do some more work. 8, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3. That is useful. Look, that 3 seems to be saying that's a 6. Which means that's a 3, that's a 5, and that's a 4. And that's a 5, and that's a 6, and that's a 6, and that's a 5. Oh, I see. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, this is indexing into a 5, isn't it? It's in the 5th row and the 5th column. And now the 5s seem to be there. So that's 9 and that's 7, which is indexing 6, which has miraculously appeared in the correct positions. So that's 9, that's 7, that's 9, that's 7. Okay, and now somehow or other, yeah, I can do it, because this is indexing 1s mirroring around the diagonal, which are in the 5th position. So that's 5, that's 6, that's 6, that's 5, that's 6, that's 5, and that is how to solve the puzzle. It's been solved 11 times in 31 days by lunatics, and now I join the ranks of lunatics who can solve thought bites. I mean, that was a monstrous, monstrous endeavour. Absolutely monstrous. I have so little intuition about how to solve that. I'm going to be fascinated by the comments. If several of you write in saying, "Oh, it took me 15 minutes," I will weep. I will weep. If several of you write in saying it took you 3.5 hours or days, I will be quietly pleased, because that felt incredibly hard to get to grips with. And yes, I now need to go and have a little drink and make a phone call. But ThoughtBite, that is, well, it's a work of unusual genius. Astonishing. It's an astonishing. It's one of these puzzles that we sometimes describe as discoveries. To discover that you can just put a diagonal line in and a 1 in row 8, column 2, and that this rule set solves. I mean, it was logical as well, wasn't it? It didn't require heavy bifurcation. It just required sort of gradual understanding of how the indexing did things. It's completely mad. Completely mad. Anyway, I look forward to the comments with interest. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.